Jesus said to the Pharisees, "There was a rich man who used to dress in purple and fine linen and feast magnificently every day. And at his gate there lay a poor man called Lazarus, covered with sores, who longed to fill himself with the scraps that fell from the rich man's table. Dogs even came and licked his sores. Now the poor man died and was carried away by the angels to the bosom of Abraham. The rich man also died and was buried. In his torment in Hades, he looked up and saw Abraham a long way off with Lazarus in his bosom. So he cried out, 'Father Abraham, pity me, and send Lazarus to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am in agony in these flames.' 'My son,' Abraham replied, 'remember that during your life good things came your way, just as bad things came the way of Lazarus. Now he is being comforted here, while you are in agony. But that's not all. Between us and you, a great gulf has been fixed, to stop anyone, if he wanted to, crossing from our side to yours, and to stop any crossing from your side to ours.' The rich man replied, 'Father, I beg you then to send Lazarus to my father's house, since I have 5 brothers, to give them warning so that they do not come to this place of torment too.' 'They have Moses and the prophets,' said Abraham. 'Let them listen to them.' 'Oh no, Father Abraham,' said the rich man, 'but if someone comes to them from the dead, they will repent.' Then Abraham said to him, 'If they will not listen either to Moses or to the prophets, they will not be convinced, even if someone should rise from the dead.'" Did you see anything of the Queen's funeral on Monday? I watched some of it, taking notes. I've got to say, I'm glad that the funerals I'm asked to arrange are a little less elaborate than hers. I couldn't help comparing what happened on Monday with the funerals that we had at St Anne's on Tuesday and here at St Quivox on Wednesday. There was a point, though, towards the end of the Queen's funeral, when the crown, the orb, and the sceptre were removed from her coffin. And someone said something like, it was a giving back of the symbols of power. When it happened, it was almost lost among all the other symbols and rituals, all the pomp and ceremony that surrounded her funeral. But when a commenter talked about it a day or two before it took place, it was one of the things that struck me, that whatever her position, no matter how long she held it, it was temporary. It was handed back. That's true of all of us, I suppose, to some degree. Parents have huge influence in the lives of their children, more at some times in their kids' lives than at others, so I'm told. Teachers, people in government, friends, priests in parishes, all have positions of influence, all of which are, in a way, temporary. At some point, are given up. The question is, how do we use those positions while we have them? That, I think, is where the rich man in the gospel went wrong. He had a position of influence, in his case, wealth. And while he did no harm, he didn't use his position for the good. He had every opportunity to help the poor man, Lazarus, sitting at his gate. But he didn't. We aren't told that he refused to help Lazarus, just that he didn't help him. Positions of influence, whether we're born to them, are given them, whether we work hard for them, they're all temporary, ours for just a short time. The gospel asks us to examine what we do with those positions, whether they be wealth or position or power, whether time or education or a voice. How do we use what we have for the good the well-being of others? And how hard do we look for opportunities to serve the well-being of others? Are there some we refuse to help, or just ignore, or pass by? When our trappings of influence are returned to the altar from whence they came, will we have made the best possible use of them?